Okay, so as promised in the last vendor video, this is the second part of the women's clothing vendor list video. I'm going to be providing you guys with 50 more women's clothing vendors. And just like the previous video, I'm going to be putting the websites on the bottom and discussing each vendor and like any personal notes I wrote on them as well. So you're definitely going to want to watch through all this video. And if you've not already watched the first part of the clothing vendor list, you're going to want to watch that as well. So without further ado, let's get started on the second women's clothing vendor list, okay? Stay tuned.
Important information. Please note that none of these vendors are recommended vendors by me personally. I own a designer handbag store and have never tried any of these vendors. This list was gathered from personal research done for you all, and it includes recommended vendors from other store owners. My goal is to provide you with a list to make it easier for you guys to narrow your search and find the right vendors for your store. For the best results, please notate the vendors you're interested in on this list and do additional research on them before making your purchase. Time to get started. All right, so the first vendor is luxysocool.com. They sell women's clothing and they also have plus size available. Whew, I feel like I have to catch my breath there from that disclaimer. All right, so the second vendor is lovelywholesale.com. Sell women's clothing and they also have plus size available. All right, and these are the clothing pieces that they have or that they're featuring. Okay. Lovely Wholesale. Now the third vendor is latiste.com. They have women's clothing and they also have plus size available. And these are some of the styles, okay? Fourth vendor is landbelife.com with women's clothing. This one is more of a t-shirt kind of vendor, so if that's the kind of things you're looking for your store, you may like this vendor. Okay, the fifth vendor is luxla.com, a women's clothing vendor, and this is also supposed to be a Fashion Nova vendor, okay, according to some research I found. All right, these are the styles they have available. Whew, still feel like I'm catching my breath there. Seem to have some good reviews, but I would also check some reviews outside of their site as well. Sixth vendor is lovetreefashion.com, women's clothing vendor. And these are some of the styles that they have. All right, seventh vendor is maypink.com, women's clothing vendor. And these are some of the styles. I'm just gonna click the different numbers and show you guys some of the looks that this site has. All right. Now the eighth vendor is magnoliafashionwholesale.com. It's a women's clothing vendor. They have trendy pieces and they sell pieces sold by popular boutiques, and they also have plus size available. Okay, so you might want to check this vendor out. All right, so the ninth vendor is actually on fashiongo.net, which is a site that has various other vendors as well, but a store owner particularly recommended this vendor. It's called JC and JQ Jeans. So I wanted to make sure to include it on the list. All right. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm just going through the vendors with you guys and just also reading my notes as well. So some of them I'm going to have a lot of notes for, some of them I'm not. The 10th vendor is midoshop.com, Women's clothing, they have classy / trendy pieces, and they also have plus size available. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing all these names right, but I'm just going to try my best. I'm also looking at my notes, so I may miss, I may make some mistakes here and there, but just bear with me. The 11th vendor is on orangeshine.com, and this is a women's swimwear vendor. All right. 12th vendor is olliejeanwholesale.com, women's and men's clothing, and they also have plus size available. 13th vendor is poppinaceswimwear.com, women's swimwear vendor. I also saw men's trunks, so they seem to have some men items as well. Okay. 14th vendor is you see the name, Persian Wholesale, I believe. Women's clothing vendor, trendy pieces on there, on the site. Hopefully I pronounced that right. A touch of glitter. 50% off party wear. All right. I'm just reading some of the stuff on the site with you guys. All right. So the next vendor is rossfancy.com. Women's clothing vendor. It's trendy, and they also have plus size available on this site. Okay. So if you need plus size items, you may be interested in this site. I see some sets as well, some sequin, lots of colors. Okay. Okay, black and white, I see you. I see some discounts flashing on the top there, so you may be interested in this site, depending on what you want to carry for your store. Okay, so the next vendor is royalapparel.net, men and women's clothing. These are some of the looks they have. Very simple and like tie-dye and things of that sort. So if that's what you like, here's a vendor. I hope this is not another vendor. I think it's still... Okay, yes, so vendor number 17 is reflexca.com, women's sweatsuit and tracksuit clothing. Store owner actually recommended this one. Okay, vendor number 18 is sheandsky.com. Have women's clothing, and these are the styles that they have. Okay. Okay, the next vendor is signature8.net, women's clothing / urban streetwear. Okay, and these are some of the looks as well. Vendor number 20 is southbeachofficial.com. They have women's swimwear. Vendor 21 is swimsuitstation.com, women's swimwear. Plus size is also available. Okay. The next vendor is ssactivewear.com, men and women's activewear. Vendor number 23 is shopcapsule.com, women's clothing, and wholesale information is available at this direct link. All right, and here are some dresses that they have as well. Vendor 24 is superdenims.com, men and women's blank apparel products. Okay. So they just have blank products. If you're interested in that, here's a vendor. Vendor number 25, suntees.info, men and women's tracksuits. They also have tie-dye products as well. Okay. Vendor number 26, superlinewholesale.com, men and women's tracksuits, joggers, and etc. And it's also US based. All right, they have a lot of color options with this vendor. A lot of variety. Oh, which one is this one? Vendor number 27, solidbasics.co. Vendor number 28, SeanSimon.com or Simon.com, women's joggers and hoodies. Okay. Okay, vendor number 29, stylishwholesale.com. Here are some of the looks that they have. Women's clothing, and they also have plus size available with this vendor. There's also plus size available with this vendor. All right. I'm not gonna do too much talking, or at least I'm gonna try not to, even though it's kind of hard because I don't want to just be quiet. But I'm basically just reading my notes for you guys, okay? Vendor 30 is shopfirstlove.com. Here are the looks that they have. They also have plus size available. Oh my gosh, is this one the next one? Yes. Vendor 31, timingfashion.com, women's clothing. So I'm actually looking at the screen and actually looking at my notes at the same time, so bear with me, please. Vendor 32, tiktokla.com, women's clothing, trendy, and this is also supposed to be a Fashion Nova vendor. Okay. So here are the looks that they have here. Vendor 33 is touchdolls.com, women's clothing, and the direct wholesale link is attached below. These are the styles they have. Okay. Jumpsuits available as well. And these are some custom reviews. And some more looks. Okay. Vendor 34 is tashaapparel.com. Women's clothing. They also have drop shipping available, and they also have plus size available. Okay. Hope you guys are having a good day today. Vendor 35 is tradegala.com. Is women, men, and children's clothing and accessory. Plus size is also available. Okay. I hope you guys like these vendors overall, or at least I hope you guys are finding some that you guys will actually like. Please let me know in the comments if you are. Vendor number 36 is teapartyfashion.com, women's clothing and plus size available. Vendor 37, uhnice.com, women's clothing, and this is a direct wholesale link, okay? So like I was saying, be sure to let me know if you guys like these vendors. If you want me to do more, please let me know as well. Please like the video as well. Just give me some feedback, okay? Next vendor is veryj.com, women's clothing. They also have plus size available. Okay. Next vendor is vibrantmew.com. It's supposed to be a Fashion Nova vendor, and they also have plus size available. These are some of the styles. Okay. Just want to show you guys as much as possible on the site, on the homepage, so you guys can kind of get an idea, so you know if you want to write it down or not. Okay, vendor number 40 is wholesalefashionsquare.com, women's clothing, toddler clothing, accessories, and etc. And they also have plus size available. All right, we're close to the finish line. We're in the 40s, guys. Vendor 41 is wholesale7.com, women's clothing. Your seller's permit doesn't seem to be required to shop here, and they also have plus size available. Okay, these are the styles. So the next vendor is wholesale7.net. The previous one was .com, but this one is .net. They have women's clothing and accessories, and they also have plus size available. Okay. Okay, so vendor number 43 is ws.haydenla.com, women's clothing vendor, and they also have plus size available here. Okay, vendor number 44 is fifthculture.com, women's clothing. This is a popular vendor and it's trendy, and they also have plus size available. Okay, vendor number 45, 143story.com. It's a women's clothing vendor. They also have plus size available. Now the next vendors I'm going to show you guys are all vendors that sell pieces sold by popular boutiques. So the next one is 2BMeFashion.com. It's a women's clothing vendor and they sell pieces sold by popular boutiques. Next vendor is BanjulUSA.com, a women's clothing vendor. They also sell pieces sold by popular boutiques. Okay, vendor number 48 is JBUFashion.com, women's clothing vendor, and they also sell pieces sold by popular boutiques, and they also have plus size available. Vendor 49 is color5.com. It's a women's clothing vendor. They also sell pieces sold by popular boutiques, and they have plus size available. Okay, also have a variety of options as well. Okay, so vendor number 50 is Many. It's a vendor on Fashion Go, which is another site you can get different wholesale pieces or different pieces at wholesale prices. It's a women's clothing vendor. They also sell pieces sold by popular boutiques, okay? Oh, I feel like that was a mouthful. They also sell pieces sold by popular boutiques. Okay, so it's supposed to end here at 50, but since I love y'all so much, well, not love y'all, but I care about y'all so much, I added 2 more vendors for you guys. Vendor 51 is mebon.com, women's clothing vendor. They also sell pieces sold by popular boutiques. Okay, and the last bonus vendor I added is shopirisbasic.com. It's a women's clothing vendor, and they also sell pieces sold by popular boutiques, and they also have plus size available. Okay, so hopefully you're able to find a couple vendors that you actually like and want to, do research on. And yeah, be sure to like for more.
Whew, I was holding my breath. The struggle of making a video.